Right, thank you everyone. Thank you for coming. I'll just wipe all the snow off of our lectern. We're ready now. So, thank you for coming. Without further ado, and in case we get hit with another snowstorm, I'm going to introduce our first speaker of the day. She's the bravest woman in this country. She is Queen Boudicca reborn. The indomitable Deputy Leader, Jayda Fransen. Big round of applause.
Thank you all, as ever, an amusing introduction, but thank you, Paul. Right, listen guys and girls, I'm going to keep this as brief as possible, although it looks as though the weather's cleared up, but you know, I won't keep you all too long. Let's just listen to these bells for a minute. I love the bells. Yeah. See, that'll get them foaming over there. They hate that. They'd rather hear the Islamic cry coming from a mosque, but no, the bells are beautiful. Exactly. So I want to start by saying thank you to every single one of you for coming out today. Because as I pulled into the car park this morning, I saw the hail was coming down. And I thought, do you know what, like Paul says, we are British and we are used to the bad weather. And a lot of people would say, oh no, I won't turn up because it might be a bit cold. But look, we're all here. It doesn't matter if we get soaked, it doesn't matter if we get cold. This is our Britain. You guys are the ones that will make a difference. Thank you for coming out. Give yourself a round of applause. And as ever, our beautiful flags, and they look wonderful. You know, I took a moment earlier to turn around as we were coming down that hill because I wanted to see what it might look like to all the smelly lefties standing at the bottom of the hill. I wanted to see what they were going to see. And I saw a crowd of British patriots holding their flags high. That will have them lot foaming. They're traitors, and I hope it sickens them. We'll fly our flags just to disgust them. Now, I always love coming to Yorkshire, I genuinely do, and I tell you why, because you guys are not only you just, you know, staunch patriots, but you just love Yorkshire. Every time I come here, you're all Yorkshire, Yorkshire, you know, you love it. It's brilliant. There, let's have a Yorkshire, come on. Yorkshire, 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 Yorkshire. I love it, honestly, I love it every time. So, I just want to tell you guys a quick story. The last time I came here, I just want to share something with you. You saw the video, but as we were leaving Savilletown, after we protested outside a few mosques, honestly, I have to share this with you. We were driving away, and there were some guys stood in the middle of the streets, and they had blue buckets, and on the side of these buckets, it said Zakat. So I thought, okay. So luckily we got stuck in the lights, and I managed to have a quick chat with them. I was leaning across the driver, and I said, what are you collecting for? And they said, this is Zakat. I said, okay. For those of you who know anything about Islam, you'll know that Zakat is a charitable tax, but it has to be paid by all Muslims, and it goes towards funding terrorism. And I know this because I've read the Quran, and I know that Surah 2, verse 3 says that Zakat funds jihad. And I know that Surah 9, verse 60 says that Zakat funds the Mujahideen. Those are the people fighting in the name of Allah, ISIS, the Islamic terrorists, Al-Qaeda. So I asked him, I said to him, where does this money go? And he looked me straight in the face, and he said, it goes to everyone. I said, like the Mujahideen? He said, yes, yes. And do you know what I thought? I thought, I like this fella, I like him. Do you know why? Because he's honest. You know who won't like him? That lot over there. They won't like him because he just told me what I already knew. That Zakat is an Islamic tax that funds terrorists. The people that are trying to kill us, he's standing in the street with a bucket collecting money for them. This is happening in Dewsbury, people. They won't like him because they're standing over there saying that Islam is about peace and that Muslims don't believe in jihad. Well, let me tell you, jihad is Islam. Islam is jihad. They are hand in hand. And these Muslim appeasers, they won't like it, but I tell you who will like him. And I tell you who won't like them. It's Allah. Because you know what Allah says? Allah says that those Muslims standing there saying, we don't like ISIS, but we don't like you either, and we don't want jihad, we don't want to kill non-Muslims, we're all very peaceful and you've all misinterpreted it. You know what Allah said? Allah said those Muslims are hypocrites and they should be massacred, just like I should be massacred, just like you should be massacred. These are the people living among us, worshipping this satanic God. Are we happy about this?
No!
So that was my last trip to Dewsbury, and I just thought I'd share, because you know, if you see these buckets out on the streets, feel free to speak to the guys. They're honest. They're honestly collecting for terrorists. I like honesty. I appreciate it. But you know, the point is the audacity of these people to come to this country and collect for a group who want to kill us. Are they insane? Is it not bad enough that groups of them are formed to gang rape our children? But no, they're still on the streets collecting. So keep your eyes out, guys and girls, because this is Dewsbury today. And we've seen it's a hotbed for extremism, Islamic extremism. We had the leader of the 7/7 bombings coming out of this town, this beautiful British town. The 7/7 bombers, the leader came from this town. This town can brag the youngest British suicide bomber, British Muslim. There's nothing British about him. He's scum. They had a 16-year-old Muslim arrested for carrying the tools and explosives to carry out a terrorist attack. This is their kids. They're kids and they're living in this town. They're going to school with your kids in this town. This is what we have to put up with because of our corrupt government. And even the police today, even the police, we have had every single obstacle thrown at us by the police, trying to make it as difficult as they possibly can for us. Every single time. But you know what? There's one thing we have to remember, and I ask you all to remember this with a sincere heart. These Muslims, they're victims of their own ideology. Now, I know that today, I've got people stood with me, and I'm so proud to have you all here, I really am. There are people here who are Christian, there are people who are Sikh, there are people who are Hindu, who are Jewish, who are atheists, okay? There's one thing that we all have in common, and it's that we can live together. Why is it that they can't live with us? Why is it? Because they will not integrate, they will not. And no matter what we do, we have to put our hands out and we have to try and help them. But you watch when you put your hand out, because it's not safe to put your hand out to these people. They have not got the same values that we have got. They do not want peace. They want to take over. Now, my religion, Jesus Christ tells me that I should love my neighbour. I don't hate these people. I despise their ideology and I think that they worship Satan. But I sympathise and I empathise because they are lost. And all these so-called Christians who are coming out and saying that we're too extreme. We're extreme Christians. What do they think Jesus was? What do they think the man that was nailed to a cross for us? Is that not extreme? Was he a pushover? Because he wasn't a pushover when he stormed into the temple with a weapon and overturned the tables because he was furious at how people were treating the temple. Well, I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Britain and this is our temple. And we will not have anyone treated this way. Anyone who wants to disrespect our temple, we will take up our weapons and we will fight against them. And if we have to defend our temple, then so be it. Now, a lot of these so-called Christian leaders we've seen recently, particularly the ones in Luton, I'm sure that the people here today form some of the 25 million who watched our video from Bury Park. Who saw it? Give us a roar. I mean, can you believe it? You know, it's not, sadly, it's shocking, but it's not surprising because we live in this, we see it. You know, people around the world, they can't believe what's going on in our country. No-go zones. Women coming up to me, converts to Islam, calling me a slapper because I've got my hair on show and my hands. You know, it's just insane. It's insanity. Who do these people think they are? They're taking over our areas and forming ghettos. And these so-called Christian leaders who have come out and said that we're hijacking the cross and that we're not true Christians because we should be peaceful pushovers. That's what they want. They want us to be pushovers. And in fact, while I'm on the subject, I just want to talk about this briefly, and I thank you all for your time because I know that not all of you are Christian, and that's absolutely fine. But you know that I am, and you know that this means a lot to me. So I'm just going to talk briefly about this cross. When these people are accusing us of antagonising a community for silently walking down the street and holding this, we have problems in our country. This is a Christian country, and this is the symbol of Christianity. Yet, I'm being told that by holding it in a Muslim area, let me just ask, are there any Muslim areas in Britain? No! I've been told that I'm not to carry this because it antagonises people. I just want to send a message out to these plastic Christian leaders, these so-called Christians. You can stand in a barn, call yourself a horse. It doesn't make it so. These people aren't Christian. Jesus Christ himself told us that any of us who does not take up this cross and follow him is not worthy of him. They are not worthy of him. They have to see the error of their ways. They'll be standing there with their arms around these Muslims and condemning us while we are standing up for his name. What is going on in this country? This is a Christian country, and these are the leaders, the so-called leaders of our churches. Well, no wonder no one's going to them anymore. This is what we have to deal with. So, about these Muslim appeasers, my main concern, thank you, Paul. My main concern as a Christian and a human, and I'll be honest, is about people's souls. What about the souls of all these people that we're saying, it's okay, come to our country, worship a false idol, a false prophet, a paedophile, worship a false god who's Satan. That's all right. Our Christian leaders are telling them it's fine. It's not fine. They're going to go to hell. Our Christian leaders don't care about them, just like they don't care about us. But the thing is, our God is a jealous God. He doesn't like anyone worshipping Satan. He doesn't like it. To see all these Christian leaders, they don't need to worry about the likes of you and I coming to their town. They're all moaning that we're coming and we're causing disorder. They don't know what's coming on their day of judgment. They are soon to find out. So I'm not going to talk for too long. I just wanted to share some bits with you. We've got a guest speaker here today, which we're very proud to have with us. And obviously I'm going to hand you over to Paul Golding shortly. So once again, my main message, as always, is look, this is our Britain. This is our Britain, Right, so I don't know about you. I mean, we've had people in the past say that there are no-go zones. Look at Donald Trump. God bless Donald Trump, hey? God bless him. Donald Trump dared to tell the truth and said that in England there are no-go zones, and everyone went mad. Well, there are no-go zones. I went to one of them last week. It's called Bury Park, Luton. So Trump was right, and good luck to him. I hope he's very successful. So, I mean, I'm just going to wrap up by saying, you know, I don't know about you, but I've literally had enough. I've had enough of no-go zones. I've had enough of Muslim appeasement. I've had enough of burqas and being told I look like a slapper because my eyes aren't the only thing you can see.
You're beautiful, Jayda.
Thank you very much, sir. I have had enough of going to every eating establishment and being told they're selling halal. Why are they selling halal? This is Britain. We don't eat halal meat in Britain. Their ideology prevents integration into our way of life. It does not conform with Western values. It never will. Now, some of these people may well be saved. I'm not saying that they're all bad people. Some of them are probably lovely. They've been dragged into a family that's pushing this ideology towards them. But let me tell you, ladies and gents, you're not safe. your kids won't be safe, because you know what their kids are reading about? When your kids are reading their storybooks, their kids are reading the Quran, and the Quran says, cut the heads off of the non-Muslims. And our babies are going to school with their babies, and this is what's going on in their heads. Are our kids safe? No. Our kids aren't even safe from their men. We can't even protect. I mean, we've been to Yorkshire, and there are towns, 1,400 little girls got raped, got taken, got tortured. What is going on? Get these monsters out of our country. Yeah. So, simple solution as I see it. Ban it. Just ban it. No more mosques. No more burqas. No more halal. No more Qurans. I'm glad to see we're all in agreement. We don't want any mosques. We don't want halal slaughter. We don't want people walking around in burqas. We don't want Islamic extremism in our country. We do not want Islam in our country. So, love the bells again. The bells. Let's just take a moment. Oh, they're lovely. So I'm going to wrap up now. I know you're all cold. There's one thing I want to clarify before I hand you over. In the media of late, there have been a few reports and a few documentaries, a few films that have been made, and there's some statements that they've put out kind of on behalf of Britain First, as they do. And I think they may have misquoted us, because I know that my fellow activists and Britain First members and supporters here today, I know that you'll agree, I think they've misquoted us. You know, they've quoted us as saying that we want our country back. No. That's not what we said. We didn't say we want our country back. We said we are taking our country back. God bless you all. God save the Queen.